The moment the link is sent, I just see you guys entering, joining instantly. Hello, Faith. Faith, our regular and most engaging student. How are you? Elliot, how are you? Who else is on the call? Who else is on the call? We're waiting for others to join. Our speaker for today is on the call. Favor, you're welcome. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited, and I believe you guys are excited, in fact, for the fact that you guys join almost instantly. It's like you're on that platform, you're waiting, you're staring at the chat, and like, oh, send the link, so that you can just click immediately. Awesome. I like the fact that you guys are, eager for this lesson. And it's been an awesome session so thus far. Like play. This thing is coming to an end on Friday. So this is the third day. This is the third day. Rhoda, how are you? Rhoda, you're welcome. Joseph, how are you? We've got a speaker today and he's on the call. Our speaker today is on the call. Trust me, I'm going to read his profile and I'll introduce him and then we can start right away. Okay, let me just wait for a couple of seconds for a few people to join. In the meantime, whilst you are joining, can you tell me something you've learned yesterday, either in yesterday's class or the class 2 days ago? Can you tell me something that struck you, something that was a major or a big, when you say it was a hit back to back, that was a major hit for you, a major hit for you. It was a hit back to back. Can you drop a line? Something that was a big deal from what the speakers have said thus far? Can I see in the chat those who really, oh, you said, sir, I learned about Gen Z, Elliot. You're not the only one. I also learned Gen Z and Alpha. Now I think I have an idea of, the Gen Z people, the Alpha, the Millennial. If I go back to read it again, it will be clearer for me. So you're not the only one. Thank you for that. Yes, anyone else? Anyone else? Is there anything that you've learned thus far from the classes? Not only that did you learn about Gen Z, we also learned the characters and how to help one another. Okay, Favor says, I'm not too young to take action and change. Wow, that was yesterday. I think that was yesterday's class. Action and change only starts when one takes action. Faith says, sir, my major feedback since this session has been the importance of community engagement. Wow, wow. Importance of community engagement. Remember, the speaker yesterday also mentioned that for that community engagement must begin with you. How you clean your home, how you obey parents, how you help your mom. Somebody said, yesterday it was said that let your parent be happy because of you. Zoe Photography says, I learned that change begins from me and I have to be an example of change. Awesome. That's very accurate. And Ashiru said, be the solution to your generation. I remember all of these points yesterday. Beautiful. So today we will be going straight to today's session and I'll show you let's make it as engaging as possible. You see, the speaker today is also a very practical person. I'll read his profile, then I will also tell you a little bit about him. Okay, Elliot. Oh, sorry. Maybe for some of our other trainings. Okay. Okay, so let me read the profile. The name of our speaker today is Kunle Ashiru. He's an accomplished project manager and training consultant with over 20 years of experience. 20 years. Wow, where are the millennia? 20 years. Okay, with over 20 years of experience, he holds prestigious certification like PMP, CMS, and CTC. Not the CMS in Lagos. So, okay. Ashiru has demonstrated leadership through roles like mentor and board support director for the project management Northern Alberta chapter. Currently, he serves on the National Board of Calvary Ministry, CAPRO, in Canada. Ashiru is also the president, the founder of That University Foundation, a non-profit providing mentorship resources for men. He founded Centrain, a global firm offering training and consultancy to empower the next generation of project leaders. Ashiru's commitment extends to community service. He volunteered extensively as a minister, coordinator with RCCG Glory Worship Center in Lagos, nurturing and teaching teenagers principles of purposeful living. He has authored 2 books, 1 Week in Prayer and an accompanying journal. Before I allow him to speak, I'd just like to say that I've known him for quite some time. Interestingly, I said something, I said he's a very practical person. So please let the class be as engaging as possible because he would want your feedback. Interestingly, what you might not know is he was my teacher when I was a teenager. So just as some of you here too are teenagers, I think I was a Gen Z. My age range, I was a Gen Z when he was my teacher. So he taught me as a Gen Z, so you can understand if my teacher is here to teach you. Oh, no, come on, come on. There's something written for you this evening. So with Jesus' joy in my heart, I want you to please help me welcome Pastor Ashiru. Let me make him a co-host. I don't know if you can unmute now. Okay, sir, you can.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm unmuted.
Oh, awesome,
okay.
Awesome.
Can everyone hear me clearly? Yeah, if you can, just wave of a hand. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night from wherever you're joining all over the world. And it's always a pleasure to be here. I'm not going to say anything much longer. Ayo had said so much, even more than enough, but Ayo has been a very good brother, mentee, friend, Ayo, Tosin, and the whole family, just very good. I've known them for years. 2009 now, right? Maybe 2009, 2008. Yeah, that's almost 16 years ago. And we've remained in contact. He's been part of my team at Dad University Foundation as well. Anyways, let's get straight to it. We have just about 50 minutes for this. Ayo, can you enable me to share my screen? Yeah, so we can get into today's stuff.
I think I mistakenly made someone else.
No problem. That's fine. With technical stuff, it's always like that. So I'm always prepared. I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope you're managing Nigeria, in a way. My prayer is that it will be well with you guys. You guys will find great opportunities. At times I wish I could go back to being a teenager all over again with the things I know now. But hey, life moves so fast. A couple of years back, I was teaching the teens church. Now I'll soon hit another milestone in age. But we thank God for his mercies. All right, can we all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We can. Okay. Good. I'm going to want to see the chat. Yeah, beautiful. So again, with technology always, I'll be hovering once in a while because I love to see the chat. We're going to be engaging. So I like somebody. Today we're talking about public speaking and presentation skills. And what is that without the people being involved? I can see there are about, okay, if I remove myself, there are about 20 people here, right? So somebody who is bold and confident should read. What's our topic for today? Here's what I'll do. Okay, Ayo, can you control that or I have to control it from my end? Faith, go ahead.
I think everybody can unmute now.
Okay, Faith has raised her hand. Faith, go ahead.
Okay. Public speaking and presentation skills, building confidence and overcoming stage fright.
Wow, did she sound confident? I think she did. I think that was very confident. All right, so public speaking and presentation skills, building confidence and overcoming stage fright. Not to brag on, so here Ayo has introduced me. I'm going to now not to brag or beat my own drums, but I've been speaking since I was in primary school. Since I represented my school in the debates, in the debate team. I don't know how many of us, debated or are on the debate team of our school. Okay, we need to unmute. Okay, I've done that. All right. So I'm just okay, please, can we all ensure that we please, remain muted so we can have a very good presentation today? Okay, just as I was saying, I've been speaking since I was a kid. And one of the things I've learned about presentation is One, at times there are some people who are born naturally. Some people are just born natural speakers. But more often than not, a lot of people grow into it. And it comes with constant and continuous practice. But don't let me jump ahead. Let's take it slide by slide and we'll see. So like I said, Ayo has done a very good introduction all about myself. So here's our agenda for today, right? This is all what we'll be talking about. So we have 5 key points. We'll be talking about the importance of public speaking. Oh, I just skipped. Somebody else to you know what, just so we can manage time, I'll do this, but I'll engage us. Importance of public speaking, building confidence, effective presentation techniques, overcoming stage fright, and then practice and improvement strategies, right? Those are the 5 key areas we'll be looking at today. And so let's go to our first slide. Someone else, anyone who feels bold to read for us the importance of public speaking. Joseph, I can see you raising your hands. Yeah. Joseph, go ahead.
Importance of public speaking, career advancements, leadership development, effective communication, and personal growth.
Personal growth. Thank you. 4 key things. In no particular order, can somebody just take any one of these and tell me what you think it means as part of the importance of public speaking? Anyone who feels led by the Spirit, who is bold enough? Or do you want me to choose randomly? Do I do that? Put you on the spot? Let's see. Let's ring around the roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, a tissue. Fortune. Fortune looks like a good, interesting name. Is Fortune here? Is he able to speak? Or are people shy? Yeah, I can imagine, right? Okay, let me not put you on the spot. Just before, is there anyone, just by any chance, is there anyone who feels like just speaking any part of it? See, and that's part of the training, right? I've already started the training. The training is being able to come in a place with so many people gathered and being able to speak. Is there anybody raising their hand? Oh, Oshidele, I just noticed. Oshidele Olufikayo, go ahead. Simisola. Simisola, go ahead. And then we'll take John Abiola after. Simisola, you need to unmute. Are you able to do that, or I have to do that? Okay, John Abiola, you're ready? Oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, so I want to speak on personal growth.
Yep.
Importance of public speaking on personal growth. I feel it is very, very, very important because the more you grow or the more you experience life in academics, in your personal life, in like anywhere you find yourself in, there are sometimes you just need to speak up for yourself and like, how would I put that example? There are sometimes you just need to speak up for yourself, not actually in a bad way, but in a good way, to improve your self-esteem and your confidence in general.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I like those 2 words, confidence and self-esteem. You need that a lot. Thanks. Well, I don't know which is your first name, whether it's Sim, but thanks, Simisola. I'll go to John Abiola. Simisola is your first name. Okay. Thanks, Simi. I'll go to John Abiola now, and then we'll move on. Don't worry, everybody will have a chance at some point in time. Ajibola, right? Or no, who did I call now? There was somebody before Ajibola.
Good evening.
Who's speaking now?
John Abiola.
Yeah, John Abiola. John, go ahead. Pick any one of these and the importance of public speaking. How it relates to public speaking.
So I'll pick effective communication.
Yeah.
So public speaking is important in effective communication because effective communication means being able to give out what your idea and others being able to understand you. So
Beautiful.
if a person is good at public speaking, it will eliminate the feeling of being intimidated, and you'll be able to voice out his opinion properly.
Beautiful, dude. And I like how you guys are, giving it a try. I like your thought processes, the way you're thinking about it, and then making a presentation, because it helps a lot. Even if at times you forget what you want to say, or the words can't exactly come to you, but you take a pause, think about it, and then speak. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Great one, guys. Okay, let's move ahead now. So thanks. Don't worry, I'll pick. Again, I have so many things on my screen. So just forgive me if I keep going, because oftentimes I'm scrolling through a couple of things. I'm using two screens. I'm also using my phone. With technology, you just have to be prepared, and we'll get to that. Now, let's go to the second one, building confidence. Tell me in the chat box, does this guy look confident or not? Is this a confident looking person standing in front of the microphone, thumbs up, two hands raised up? Yes, he does. I absolutely agree. Yes, he is confident. He looks confident. And that is something you can't buy in the market, like they say, building confidence. So I guess the next question is, how do we build this confidence, right? So let's see that. Are we on the right slide? Oh, yes, we are. Good. Now, know your material thoroughly. Today I have a presentation of about 22 slides, right? And if anything were to happen, so to speak, I've mastered my slides. I know the content of the slides. So even without the slides, if I just had that small note where I took everything, I would still be able to speak. Why? Because over time, like I told you, I've been speaking for a long while. And that's one of the key things. You must know yourself. Now, let me ask a question. Say, for example, I don't know how many people know how to drive, but you can't drive a car. And I've asked you, come and speak, come and talk to us on how to drive a car. How well do you think you will do? You don't know how to drive a car. And the topic you are given is, come and speak on how to drive a car. Do you think that works well? Or you don't know how to, not so well, yeah. Or maybe somebody who doesn't know how to draw or how to cook. And I say, come and teach us how to make jollof rice. You've never even boiled an egg in your life. You've never been in the kitchen. And I say, come and speak on how to cook jollof rice. How do you think that's going to go? Like somebody said, not so well at all. So you must be conversant. You must know the material you're going to speak about thoroughly. Secondly, you must practice. I prepared this slide. How can you raise your hand? So if you look at, I don't know whether you're using your phone on your screen, but you have this set of icons below where you have more. I don't know, where does it show in this? Just a second. Again, like I said, because I'm sharing so many screens, there's a way you should be able to click. If you're using your phone, there's something that should show and enable, reactions. That's where it is. If you check on that reactions, it should give you an option to raise your hand, right? Okay, so back to what I was saying, practice regularly. I prepared these slides a while back. And one thing I've done, not just with my presentations, even when I'm asked to speak, when I'm doing anything with exams, with tests, with notes, I always go back to practice. I've gone through these slides at least twice, right? Just to say, when I'm talking to this, teenagers, this group of people, right? Because we might not all not be teenagers, right? When I'm talking to this group of people, how do I want to present that material? What are the things I'll use in talking to them? So that's what it means to practice regularly. You must practice your content. You can't just prepare something and just show up on that day without practicing and then just start spilling out. Believe you me, if things go wrong, you're going to struggle, right? So know your material thoroughly, practice regularly. Next slide. And we have a cute gentleman here. Start small and gradually increase, right? You can start with speaking in your youth group, speaking in your classroom. And even if that's a lot, just being in front of some people and just speaking. You can look at this young guy now. He has the mic. I don't know if there's anybody in front of him, but at least he looks confident. He's smiling, right? So start small, start gradually, and then increase your audience size. And then visualizing success. That's talking about confidence. Just always being confident that, look, when I get in front of... Who has ever heard about the expression having butterflies in your stomach? Anybody? And what does it mean? Let me know in the chat box. Have you ever had the expression butterflies in your stomach? And what do you think it means? Yeah, Faith. Yeah, what does it mean? Anybody else? I'm having butterflies in my stomach. What does it mean? Come on, guys. It means nervous 100%. 100%. Thanks, Elliot. Great one. It means when you're nervous, you have butterflies in your stomach. Beautiful. Butterflies, it means anxiety too. Man, I have some really, jigs here. I have some great people over here. Yeah, great. It means being nervous or being anxious, right? Now, let's go to effective presentation techniques, right? You've been asked to come and present to a small group or class or in church or in school or wherever it is. How do you go by that, right? Sorry, let's hold on. Skipped ahead a couple of slides. Now, there is a process for making presentations, and you must structure your presentation. What does that mean? I put here introduction, body, and conclusion. And as many of you that joined from the start, from the onset, you'll notice that I had an introduction. So first, we started with the main, the topic, the main slide. There was an introduction by Ayo, right? And then we had an agenda. We had an agenda where I discussed all the things that we'll be talking about today. I had 5 points, if we remember, right? All the things I will be talking about today. And then we're now in the body of the presentation, which is the breakdown of the 5 things. And then we're going to have a conclusion, right? Yeah, thanks, guys, who are still in the chat. Fear or dread, anxiety. So you must ensure that you structure your presentation. It must be in in hierarchy, an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. And then secondly, right, use engaging visuals. I'm going to put myself on the spot here, even though I know. So far, based on the slides that you guys have seen, have the visuals been engaging or not? You can tell me the truth. Don't be scared. If it's not, I will accept it. But based on the pictures and the slides that I've shown you, how many of us agree that use visuals that relate to what we're talking about and they're engaging? You can give me a wave or a thumbs up. They have. Thank you. Anybody else? You do. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. And I learned as so long ago. In fact, one of the best presenters, God bless him now. I don't know if I'm sure you must have heard of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Steve was notorious for having slides. His slides had only pictures. The maximum number of words you were allowed on slides was 3, right? You had to know your material. You had to be able to present it offhand. Steve Jobs was notorious for that. So if you look at if you go and research on YouTube and you look at the early Apple, when they were releasing the first iPhone, the second iPhones, the iPods, the iPads, and all that, he would come before the audience, have a very large screen, and have just a picture, and he will just go on from there. So you must use engaging visuals. We move on to the next slide. In the chat box, can anybody tell me what do you think is going on with this guy? What do you think? A friend in front of Mike, he's scared, he's shy. Somebody says he's afraid, shy. Yeah, we're all right. We're all right. You're pretty much mean. So again, standing in front of a mic, afraid of the crowd. Standing in front of the mic is never easy. I can tell you, even after years of public speaking, it still happens to me. I still tell myself, maybe not so many butterflies. At times, maybe just one butterfly, will come up, right? Stage fright. I love that word, stage fright. Maybe just one butterfly, but I still think about it. Hey, how will I speak? What will I do? But from experience, you just learn to sort of pick yourself up. You can make mistakes, you can stutter, you can even stammer, you can forget what you want to. But the most important thing is just knowing how to pick yourself up, right? Tell stories and use examples. You can see now that I just used the example of Steve Jobs. Because what you learn over time, especially in presentations, that people remember the stories. People remember the examples. People remember some of the things you tell them, even more than the slides. I can assure you, we can finish this presentation. Some of you might forget a half or a third or three-quarters of the content, but you will remember the stories that we use, right? And then interact with the audience. You can see that I've asked some of you to read at some point in time. I've asked you to engage in the chat. For me, that without engage, let me use a not so good example. The way we teach in our universities back home, we have lecturers who just come to class and just throw stuff at you. They're just either reading from the notes, there's no feedback, they're just going on and on and on and on. Maybe, God help you, at the end of the class, somebody remembers and says, oh, do you have any question? Oh, no. Okay, but that is what you call lecturing, when somebody stands in front. But presentation is called presentation for a reason. It's an engaging experience with your audience. You're going back and forth, which is why, again, at times I've asked you to read just to have a feel of the class, how you speak, how you engage, your thought processes, right? Interact with the audience. It never fails. It always helps. Your body language and voice. Body language and voice, key things. Let's look at the examples. Maintain eye contact. One of the best ways, and it's funny enough, using this example, one of the best ways I learned how to speak and maintain people was as an usher in church. When I became a worker in my church, I never wanted to be an usher. I wanted to be, I can't remember, whether in counseling, I can't remember where I wanted to choose. But the pastor then, still a very good friend of mine, he just said, go to ushering. I was very upset. I was very annoyed. Ushering. I don't want to be an usher. I don't want that. Well, guess what? I was not only an usher, I was made usher number one, which means you're literally standing next to the pastor and you're facing the whole congregation. Well, guess how that helped me? I got to know so many faces. Oh my goodness, brother Ayodeji, I don't know if you're still here. Something interesting happened. Ayo, do you know any John, what's his name now? John Obo. Anyway, I'm at a parish in downtown Edmonton, Canada here. Pastor Joelaya came for a program on Friday. And as I'm entering for the program, a guy just stops me by the road and he says, hello, sir, from Glory Worship Center.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. Not just that. He said, 2009. He remembered my face from 2009. Guys, that's what I mean. And why? When I was an usher and I used to stand in front of the congregation, I used to notice faces. I would welcome people, talk to people. How are you doing? How's the family? And all that. I'll go back to that in a second, Ajibola. And this guy he remembered my face. He said, oh, John, jeez. And it's so bad I forgot. Is it John Obo or John Bo? I can't remember. But he could remember my face from 2009, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Just because I stood in front of people, right, and all that. So if it ends, we'll just reconnect, right? It's giving me the signal. We'll just rejoin, right? Okay, that's fine. Ajibola wants me to go back to the second point. Ajibola, is it the body language and voice you're talking about? It's the point on that we're talking about now. Maintain eye contact and stand confidently. Or do you want me to go back a slide? Ajibola, can you hear me? Which number 2 are you talking about now? Yeah, go back to which, okay. I've gone back. Is it this or this? Ajibola, are you there? Is this where you want me to be? Just unmute. Okay, unmute and tell me what do you want me to talk about?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ajibola. Yeah, which one?
Yes, I want to go back to the one that you asked us a question that is it confident?
This one?
No, sir. The man standing on a podium.
Oh, on the podium. Yeah, this one, this guy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your
Yes, sir.
question? Yeah, what's your question or comment?
Sorry, I missed it. My phone backed up for me.
Oh, okay. So I spoke about telling stories. I used an example of Steve Jobs and how anytime when he was going to launch Apple products, his screen, in fact, he had only maximum of 3 words on the screen, nothing more than 3 words, and preferably without nothing. It was just pictures, and you had to know the material to be able to talk about it. And I also spoke about interacting with the audience, the same way I'm interacting with you guys, either through the chat box or just telling somebody to unmute and speak. And that's the way you engage with the audience. That way you can have a feel if the audience is with you, they're following what you're talking about. It's just a way to build rapport, build a good rapport with your audience. And we'll get to that later. You can also see the way I'm gesticulating, body language, my voice, my tone of voice, right? So that's a quick recap of that. Yeah, that's fine, Ayo. So maintain eye contact, then stand. I cannot emphasize this enough. Stand confidently. Now, again, confidence is not is not abinibi, right? It's not always abinibi. Oftentimes, it is ability. I'm using our Niger slangs now. It is something you practice and you get just over time. You can't stand in public and start speaking if you haven't practiced. So even from programs like this, from LIBL, I keep using that example from your youth programs, from your church programs, right? Just don't be afraid. When somebody calls you, don't shiver and shake. I need to move really fast now. Let's chance here. And then use natural gestures. Just like I just said, you see the way I've been talking, using my hands, facial expressions. At times I've been rocking in my seat back and forth. Just look presentable. Look presentable and then use natural. So, for example, the way I've been talking is almost as if I'm standing in front of you. I'm actually speaking, right? And that's the way it is. These are things that engage people because also people need to also know that you're concentrating. If somebody is, for example, my video is off. Ayo, are you sure? No, I can see myself. Really? No, Ayo, my video is on. Okay, so let me put it off and on again. Off, on. Can you see me?
No, so the one you're using to talk is off. That's the spotlight.
Oh, so you made Kunle the host?
Yeah.
Instead of Gabby. Oh, Ayo, come on.
No, that is the host. But the one we are using to talk is what is the point of is what the
is what the spotlight will be.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a way we can amend that? Let me see.
Okay.
Oshidele says I'm still visible. So can everyone confirm? Can you see me now? Let's do that. Because it will have been sad if I've just been speaking since you guys can't see me. Can you guys still see me now? You can just Ayo, I don't want to see me. Ayo, please. Everybody's seeing me. Because I was like, so all the drama and demo that some people say yes and some people say no. Okay, so here's what we'll do. Let me try and see if I can. Yeah, participants. So whichever one, I think you should be able to see me on either screen now, right? Am I upside down or I'm right side up? Okay. I've just seen what is going on now. Geez.
You're good to go, sir. Everyone.
Yes, I don't want this to just so we can save up on our time. But okay, just give me a second, guys. Okay, let's just move ahead just for time. If some people can see something, but at least you have a good idea of what I look like. Use natural gestures. Aha! Here is the guy with 1 million butterflies in his stomach, right? So we go to the next point, overcoming stage fright. How many of us have stage fright? Show of hands. Tell me in the chat box, or you can raise your hands. Who has ever been asked to speak before, and how did you feel? Can anybody? I just want somebody to share an experience. You do so much. When you say you do so much, do you get afraid or are you confident? I want somebody who has lots of butterflies. Depends on the audience. I like that. Depends on Olumaya Akin. I'm going to put you on. What do you mean? Depends on the audience. Explain. I feel like the floor will open and swallow me. Oh my goodness. I like that. Akin, you say sometimes depends on the audience. What does that mean? Stage
Can I say
fright.
something?
Who is that?
This is Oluwamaiwa.
Maiwa, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, sir. I'll just say that for me, the audience kind of in a way, maybe like the first 10 minutes. So trying to get the upbeat of the audience, trying to dictate and understand the room can also be a terror sometimes. So, sometimes you get this look from the audience that feels like you're not communicating. And that can actually throw you off balance sometimes. So you might, so that's why I said depending on the audience. So I think in that kind of, the only thing I get to do is maybe just bring in a story, and then one way or the other, as soon as get their
100%. I agree. Okay, we've lost you, Lumaya, but we got the message. And that's really, and I like you used two very good words or phrases. Dictate or gauge the temperature of the room. Like I told you when I was an usher, in fact, when I'm speaking now, even from the number of people on the call and the way you're responding, I can gauge the temperature of the room. I can gauge the response, feedback, and all of that. Okay, let's move ahead. I couldn't say what I was supposed to. I become confused. When I get there, we'll forget. That is it. And it just shows you how much you need to practice. Okay. Another point here. So these are points to help you speak. Deep breathing exercises. Before you go, talk to yourself. I can do this. I can do this. You can even speak to yourself in